Every single time where I get to have a morning like this, where I wake up bright and early and I get to it and I have minimal distractions, I can really benefit from the amount of productivity that I experience.
Today's gonna be a productive day.
Let your act out to some iceberg, you'll be heavy in my mind. Can you get the heck out? I need rest now.
I left my phone in the bathroom and I just want you guys to know I went back to my bedroom to get it, to bring it back here because good morning. Hi, how are you? It's 5:20 in the morning and you have just joined me for my 5 a.m. morning routine with tips for optimal productivity. And one of them being to not bring your phone with you to the bathroom in the morning. So that's why I had to go get it so I could tell you guys what time it is. 5:20. My phone is on D&D still, and it will remain that way until 7 a.m. before I continue with the rest of my productivity tips and my morning routine. In case you do not know me, hi, my name is Bree, also known as Miss Wright. I am your Gen Zennial bestie, your virtual sis, working to successfully navigate her 20s in an attempt to thrive in her 30s. And if this sounds like something that aligns with you, do yourself a favor and hit the like, comment, and subscribe button, because I promise you're going to be motivated and inspired in this journey that's for glowing, growing, and elevating to becoming the best versions of yourselves, but doing so in a way that is very realistic, lots of lessons and mistakes along the way, but a journey that would be 10 times better if you were a part of it. So I hope that you stick around, and for those who are reoccurring, you already know the vibes. So I know I look crazy. I'm in my pajamas and I put my headband on for the gym, but I did this to make sure you guys know that I have my gym clothes in the bathroom. This is a top tier productivity tip. I would categorize this as planning ahead as much as you possibly can. Making as little decisions in the morning that require you to think as possible. So I have my outfit for the day picked out. I have my outfit for the gym obviously picked out. I know what I'm going to eat today. Like, meals are prepped, brain work is at a limited capacity. And this is not because I don't have the capacity to think at this time, because I do. However, this is going to ensure that you are the most productive that you can be. Only reason I'm not already out the door or close to me walking out the door is because I'm talking to y'all. But respectfully, we about to go. So I'm going to put on my gym clothes, but that is tip number 1 for how to be more productive and how I'm incorporating it into my 5 a.m. morning routine, is to make as little decisions as humanly possible in the morning. So step number 1, let's get dressed. Still getting dressed. But another thing that I mentioned that I don't want to skip over was the fact that I had to go back to my bedroom to get my phone to update you guys on the time. That's because another productivity tip that I recommend is not taking your phone with you first thing in the morning to the bathroom. I think one of the most time lost in the morning is from sitting on the toilet and scrolling. Even if you don't have to, like, TMI, do, like, you know, your business. Even if you're just taking a morning pee, it still tends to be a time where we sit and scroll. Even men do it too. I'm not making this up. I'm telling y'all, this is real. This is real. I try to make sure that I'm adamant about turning my alarm off, getting up, and getting out of the bed. Something I didn't do that I wish I did, that I would recommend to anybody that struggles with scrolling in the bed. Charge your phone across the room. This forces you to get all the way up to turn your alarm off, and you're less likely to lay in the bed and scroll. But yeah, do not bring that phone with you to the bathroom. My phone is on D&D. I also mentioned that. Try to keep it that way until a certain time. It's just avoid your phone going off. You being more and more tempted to scroll, to do it if all your notifications are right there on your lock screen and your phone's vibrating next to you. It's going to cause you to be distracted. Just food for thought as we continue our productive 5 a.m. morning routine. Anytime there's room for distraction, it allows for less productivity. Less productivity equals less things getting done. Goal is optimal productivity. Let's get stuff done, and let's do so in the most efficient and effective manner in a timely fashion. That way we can not only get more things done, but we can also enjoy our lives. It's not solely about being productive and how much work we can get done and pushing ourselves to the brink. No, it's about getting as much stuff as we can in a short amount of time completed so that we can have time for ourselves to read a book, to relax, to watch some TV, to go to Target, which is what I hope to do by the end of my day today. So today's gonna be a productive day. I'm gonna go shopping after this. What better reward is there than to go to Target? To the gym, yeah.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months.
I come in and I go straight to the treadmill or Stairmaster. Following that, I have a workout split already written. This is another example of me not having to think, alleviating any and all distraction. I could sit down on a bench and look for a workout and waste 20 minutes of my gym time. But instead, I know exactly what I'm gonna do because I do the same thing every day, and or I use my workout split. No matter what, I'm getting my 20 minutes of cardio before I get into my workout. So that's just another example of how doing as much planning as possible could be to your benefit when it comes to productivity. Secondly, y'all see me doing laundry before I came down here, and I'm about to read a book as I'm on the treadmill. These are two examples of tip number 3, which is free to multitask and or habit stack. I know that I need to clean my clothes. I should have done it during my reset Sunday, but that didn't transpire. I did not have a proper Sunday reset. However, it takes nothing for stuff to be in the washer or in the dryer while I'm down here. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Same thing goes for me reading on the treadmill. Now, I'm reading for leisure, but you might have something more productive that you can do while you're doing your cardio. That could be reading a book for school or for class, reading a productivity book, reading Atomic Habits on the treadmill. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's probably how I finished that book. I finished a lot of books while doing cardio. Yeah, I'm reading for leisure because I honestly will struggle to make any other time to do it. But that is a productive thing. In the same token, habit stacking, making sure I take care of myself or do something for myself while I am working out, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Content planning is another thing that I tend to do on the treadmill or the Stairmaster, and it makes me go harder a little bit because I'll be so into it that I realize I walk like 2 miles. Editing on the treadmill, there's lots of different ways that you can make use of your time simultaneously, doing 2 things at once. So I 10 out of 10 recommend habit stacking and or multitasking. So now it is 5:45. Goal is to be out of here by 6:30, so let's get into it.
Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do what you want. At this time, doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want. What you want.
My new bitch look like Halle Berry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know but she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
just some me time.
Hope you doing what you want.
Alrighty, it is 7:20 a.m. I am about to sit down and do my 12 minutes of Bible time. My morning devotional, something I've been working towards trying to do, specifically trying to read the entire Bible this year. So I try to dedicate 12 minutes a day to doing so. One is because studies show that if you read it for 12 minutes a day, you can finish the Bible in a year. So I'm trying to be consistent with that. However, the next tip that I wanted to provide you guys with was to set timers. So I want to preface this by saying, just because the timer goes off at 12 minutes doesn't mean that I'm going to,
tell the Lord I don't got no more time for him. Like, that doesn't work. That's not what I'm trying to say. However, setting a timer just allows you to remain on schedule. So with anything that you are doing that might require you to spend a significant amount of time on that, I'm spending 12 minutes on my Bible time. It could be 5-minute journal. It could be your meditation time, your prayer time. It can even be your gym time. As long as you have a schedule that you want to stick to, I always recommend setting timers. I've even done it when shopping. Like, if I know I have a nail appointment, if I have somewhere to be at a certain time, but I'm going to the mall and I know I could get carried away while shopping, I'll be sure to set a timer like, okay, you need to leave by this time. So it's another thing that I recommend doing in order to be as productive as possible, so that you can stick to your schedule, you can have a schedule, and you can try to dedicate yourself to whatever task you're completing for that entire duration of time, because you're not getting distracted, you're not checking your phone, you're not waiting to see how long you've been doing this. Oh, let me see, has it been an hour, has it been 30, has it been 25 minutes? The timer will go off when it's time for you to stop. So do what you're doing and dedicate your time to it fully. You are more likely to get more things done and to do it with more focus than if you were to just do it willy-nilly. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Bible time, but that's what I'll be doing right now. And I'll also be applying that when I get into my editing before I start my 9 to 5. So it's now 7:22. Let's get into it. And yeah, we'll pick up after that. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
Good morning, Brianna. 12 minutes, starting now.
Alexa. Alrighty, it is now 7:46 a.m. and I have a whopping hour and 15 minutes before I start my 9 to 5, where I can now dedicate time to you guys, to my YouTube channel, to my content creation. And this is probably one of the most effective and important tips for productivity. And honestly, that is to, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Wake up earlier. I know. And this is probably a little bit more relevant to those who work a 9 to 5 or some sort of full-time day job. But then again, even if you don't, I just think that you can get more done when you wake up earlier. It's not so much that you are innately more productive in the morning. Everybody's different. I can be someone that stays up later and won't get not a lick of anything done. But I do know people who are night owls, who have their most creative awakenings in the late wee hours of the night. And that's okay, that works for them. But despite the fact that whether you're a morning person or you're a night person, when you wake up earlier, you can take better advantage of the hours that are in the day. You're literally allowing for you to have time for yourself before you get into your 9 to 5, which is something that I 10 out of 10 recommend. I touched on this briefly in a different video, but you have to pour into yourself before you pour into anyone else. So that is another reason why I think waking up earlier is so incredibly important. But most notably, there's just more hours in the day when you take advantage of them. So you gotta wake up earlier in order to get more things done. So I'm very grateful that I was able to get to my desk before 9 o'clock. There's some days where I get to my desk like 9:30, 10, I'm pushing it, I'm working from my phone, working while I'm trying to make myself breakfast, and I'm not my most productive when I do that. So every single time where I get to have a morning like this, where I wake up bright and early and I get to it and I have minimal distractions, I can really benefit from the amount of productivity that I experience. So that is what I'm about to do right now, get into my editing. Lastly, I want to make sure that I include making a to-do list, using a planner, having some sort of whiteboard, an execution plan. That is what I'm actually about to do before I get into my editing. Beyond just minimizing your distractions and waking up earlier, setting timers, and also planning as much as possible, this one can be lumped into that.
having a plan for your workday, having a plan for whatever tasks are at hand, the least you have to think about. I just wanted that to be the overarching theme of this video, is that the least you have to think about, you will be able to optimize and maximize your productivity. So for me, for example, I'm about to write down a list of what I want to work on for my content creation, and then also what I want to work on for the day for work. This will help me to not focus on what it is that I have to do, but rather focus on actually getting it done. And a good example of that, especially where content creation is concerned, is that when you don't know what you plan on doing for your content, you're like, okay, let me get on TikTok and scroll and see what trends are trending, what sounds are trending. I need some inspo. Let me look on Pinterest. I need some inspo. Let me scroll through YouTube. Next thing you know, you are down a rabbit hole and you've been scrolling for 40 minutes. 10 out of 10 don't recommend. That is the easiest way for you to get distracted and for you to look up and realize you've gotten absolutely nothing done. Making sure you have a plan before getting into what it is that you need to do, I think is very crucial. However, I do want to mention that there are a lot of people who can get so wrapped up in the planning of what they want to do that they don't actually take any time to do what it is that they planned. I don't recommend that either. So make sure that you don't spend an enormous amount of time doing your planning, or maybe you could do it, like I mentioned earlier, in some habit stacking capacity. You can do your content planning while you're on the gym or while you're on the toilet and your stomach is like I don't want you to take your phone with you to the bathroom, but if you're going to, be productive while you want it. Does that make sense? I just do not want you guys to spend an enormous amount of time planning that you you don't get anything done that you planned. So that's counterproductive. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get into it, and then yeah, let's get into this power hour. And that's another thing I'll do. Look at me taking my own advice. I'm gonna set a timer. Alexa, set a timer for 9 a.m.
Alarm set for 9 a.m.
Let's get to work. Alexa, turn the alarm off. Well, guys, it is now officially 9 a.m. and time for me to start my 9 to 5. And that is also all that I have for you guys in today's video. I hope that you were able to take away some very, very helpful tips for your productivity. I encourage all of you guys to do your best to employ these so that you can live your most productive lives. You can get the most done. You can maximize your time. You can optimize your time, and you can have time for yourself in addition to getting things done. In 2025, we are getting things done, period. Our goals are getting met. They are getting achieved. We are not just setting goals, but we are accomplishing them. We are working toward them steadfastly, and we are getting things done. We're knocking things off of our to-do list. So hopefully these tips will help you to do that. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, what do you want to see in the next video, please let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, do yourself a favor and like and subscribe as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you also hit the notification bell so you do not miss the next one, because I definitely have some amazing chef's kiss content coming to you very soon. But that being said, I'm going to get into my work day, because like I said, we got to get things done. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.